Good morning, Year 9. Hopefully you're all well and everything's okay and you're liking this online learning. Just letting you know, I've gone to your Google Classroom, Year 9 Maths 5.3. I created a file, works for year weeks 9, 10, 11. Yesterday's work was here. So the stem and leaf plot. Just if I go to that work, I asked you to turn it in by taking a photo, and I will check that work and then I will allocate the 100% just to see how you are going. So really important, follow the instructions, but you need to be turning your work in by just writing a comment or something like that. Some of you have also missed the lesson before, which if I go back and back again, if I do that one, that's the check-in task. Some of you were here at school, but that's the task I needed to check how you were going. So that's in there. Thank you to the 4 who did it. There were about 15 of you at school, so I'm probably missing 6. So if those people could get that done, I can then mark it. It will take 50 minutes. It will be best if you print it and then photograph it and scan it up. I'm not sure. I know someone in class the other day downloaded it as a Word, wrote in it, and then just saved it. Okay, so today's lesson, and I'd really like some feedback with how you're going and what you think. We're going to today's activity. So the instructions for today is you watching this now, write the key ideas. We're going to talk about that and then some practice. So in your textbook today, we're doing combined. We're on exercise 9I. If you have missed doing stem and leaf plots, you will need to do that exercise. So today's about organising your data. It starts off with looking at the histogram. A histogram, it's super important you can draw these properly. They are column graphs without a gap between them, but the important gap is this one at the beginning. So if this is a centimetre column, you have a 1/2 centimetre gap. I shouldn't need to tell you, but your vertical scale always holds your frequency. So that's important. The class centres across the bottom. The class centre is when we use classes to graph the whole thing, we just find the centre, and we find the centre one way by doing it is simply by adding up 61, 65 and dividing by 2. Some of you will use common sense to do that. The percentage frequency histogram will come back to, but obviously it's just going to be percentage frequency is 3/25 multiplied by 100. So it's just changing your frequency to a percentage. Don't see this as often. They ask you in example 15, in your textbook, if you're in the right spot, you can actually get a work solution. Or an example with a video, but you shouldn't need to. When I ask you to write down the key points, try and write a summary. So don't write everything. That graph there, you could just annotate that graph. So a frequency histogram table, you always start with the same thing. Class center, frequency. Good habit to be in. Class center, frequency, and find the total. then you can check whether you've made a mistake. They should actually have a tally in here as well. So some of you might be used to having a tally column. When you're doing your histogram, use a ruler. You're graphing in the center the score. You can see here that it goes up in fives. It's got to be consistent. Then the question is, how many hours did the fast food sell? Fewer than 10. So you would look at here, fewer than 10, you would be adding column 1, which is 3, and column 2, which is 7. So that's why they get 10. They ask you to do this, your usual, we're going to do questions 1 to 4. I've left out question 5. There's a lot of marks there, like 60. Very easy to make a mistake when you do those. I'm asking you to interpret your graph. So it's talking about skewed. And data is obviously skewed if it's not symmetrical. And we'll talk more about positive and negative later. I'm going to be on the classroom. I'd really like to hear how you're going. And I'm going to set up a Cambridge check-in task as well. All right, take care and let me know if you need some more work or you're struggling or anything like that. All right, take care. Bye.